Okay, now it's being recorded. Let me pull up my questions. So first of all, thank you so much for helping me with this. I'm doing an intercultural communication assignment, and they needed us to interview someone who was raised in another country. I know I know a little bit of your background history, but we just needed like a couple questions to go more in depth. Okay. So the first question is, can you tell me a little bit about where you grew up and your cultural background? What was it like growing up there?
Hi, my name is Jurgen Philemon, and I was born in Suriname. Suriname is a country in South America, southeastern South America. Um, on the west, we border with Guyana. The north, we border the Atlantic Ocean. The south, we border Brazil. And to our east, we have French Guyana, which is still French territory. So, yeah, Suriname is a tiny country, and I grew up speaking Dutch as my first language, and I also spoke Surinamese, which is a mix of Dutch, English, um, some Portuguese, and some African languages from colonial times. So it's a Creole language. Suriname is a small country. It was a Dutch colony and got became independent in 1975. So it's about 50 years young, and it has a Caribbean type of culture, very laid back. Even though we're in Latin America, we consider ourselves Caribbean people because our culture tends to um, we tend to relate more to the Caribbean, and we don't speak Spanish, so. Um, yeah, so my culture was I grew up bilingual, speaking Dutch and Surinamese. It's a developing country, but for a small country, it was very diverse because the Dutch brought in people from China, people from India, from Indonesia, um, and of course, Africans were brought there during slavery, and then we have indigenous people, Native Americans, or they call them Amir Indians. Yeah, so they're natives. We have about 5 tribes, so we're very diverse. Um,
Awesome. How old were you when you moved to the United States?
I was 14 years old. Anyway, growing up there was nice. Tropical country. Um, the diversity is one of the main things. So I pretty much can get along with anybody because we had all these different ethnicities in
Yeah,
such a tiny space. People were you had to get along with anybody, right? You couldn't hide in your own little town. Everybody worked well together down there.
that's awesome. What do you miss most about being home?
There's freedom. Yeah, a lot of freedom out there. It's laid back. I don't miss some of it's slower, it's slower out there. I don't miss that part, but it's beautiful. The country is still 93% covered in rainforest. So I miss the outdoors out there and the food.
Growing up, what traditions or customs were really important in your family or community?
Suriname, um, I grew up in a Christian home, so church was a big part of me growing up. Celebrating Christmas, but at the same time, since the country's so diverse, there are other religions, and they had their holidays, and we would celebrate their holidays as well. Um, yeah. So yeah, so just growing up in a small area, small town, and
Are
celebrating.
oh,
Uh,
sorry. Are there any holidays or celebrations that like you miss or that you still like try to celebrate here?
Um, we celebrate Christmas, but we didn't really do the gifts. And we started celebrating like December 5th. It was like a Dutch tradition. And then you had like some you had to put like hay in like a boot that someone would wear, like a rain boots or something like that. You put hay in it for Santa's horses. And then in the morning you would run and look in that boot, you would find some candy or some money. And and December 5th was Children's Day, and you would usually get a gift. But on Christmas we didn't get gifts. But now, with the influence of the West, um, a lot of people are adopting the American customs, and they're having gifts for Christmas as well.
That's pretty cool.
Mm.
That's cool. How would you describe family roles in your culture? Are there certain expectations for parents, children, men, and women? Have you noticed those expectations changing over time? Are they still grounded in who you are? Are now
Yeah.
are they different from here in the United States?
Um, I was privileged to grow up in a family where I had both parents. Dad worked, mom was a stay-home mom, um, and so mom stayed home and helped us with schoolwork and so on until she wasn't able to because we went to high school. So yeah, so the family roles were very tight. We're very family oriented.
Nice.
Can you hear that?
Yep. Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah. What are some things from outside your culture often misunderstood or make assumptions about?
About my culture that are misunderstood here in America, or
Yeah, like if something's still grounded with you from your culture and people misunderstand maybe like how your point of view of something or how
can
you
you
were
give me a
raised.
second? Can you give me a second?
Yeah.
Because I don't think they noticed that I can hear you guys. Where I'm being recorded. Oh, sorry about that.
Oh, or it's okay. I told the kids the same thing. I'm all
Yeah, so something that's misunderstood. I mean, just I felt like when I grew up in Suriname, I really didn't look at people's skin color. We were like, you know, I had all kinds of ethnicities coming from my families, from European to Asians. So we all spoke the same language. But in the States, depending where you are, people can still look at you based on your skin color, and you get judged based on your skin color rather than your character.
yeah.
So that's one thing I've noticed.
In your culture, what is considered respectful or disrespectful in conversations or everyday behavior?
Um, the culture is very formal. So when you talk to your parents, you can't just say yeah. You have to say yes, mom, yes, dad. Um, so if a child talks to an adult and they just address them without a title, like mom, dad, aunt, sir, ma'am, then you're seen as rude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like here, how like if somebody invites you to eat, it's kind of rude if like you don't eat. What about like out there? How do people show respect? Like some like, and I know like in Asian cultures, they take their shoes off at the door, or like what's one big sign of respect out there?
People usually take their shoes out as well because just because not all of the country has concrete, and you might be walking on sand, and so you take your shoes off as well. Um, the Like I said, we have Indonesians in Suriname as well, Chinese, and those cultures tend to offer a lot of food, and you've got to eat. Um, so yeah, we do expect people to enjoy our food, but I don't think we make a big deal out of it. But
Yeah.
it's like expect, you know what I mean? Yeah.
And then you touched on this one a little bit about, does religion play an important role in your culture? Um, is it something that has changed since moving here, or do you feel like that's still a strong foundation?
Yeah, it's still a strong foundation for us here. We're Christians, and we brought that here with us, and that's one of the first things that kept me grounded. Growing up in Brooklyn, New York City, um, when I was getting pulled, you know, peer pressure in high school and stuff. Um, Sometimes you try to fit in.
Yeah.
You look at the popular kids, the gang members, but at the end of the day, it was, I have faith that kept me grounded and on the right path.
Yes, I love that. If you can teach people one thing about your culture, what would you want them to understand? What's something you wish people would stop assuming about your culture?
Well, my culture, people are family oriented. People are very friendly. Um, you can always come over, and visit our home, where we're not standoffish. We're very welcoming, and you know, probably seeing me walk down the street, you wouldn't know that, but that's part of my culture.
And for the last question, what advice would you give someone who wants to build healthy relationship with people from your culture? What is the biggest thing that helps people connect?
Um, just showing excitement or interest in my culture. You know, as this as you can tell, as the interview started, I was telling you the whole history of the culture. Of the country. I got so excited. So we're not well known in the world. We're a small
Yeah,
country, so people from Suriname are eager to share their culture with others.
I love that. Awesome. Thank you so much, Hergen, for taking the time. I really do appreciate you. Um, yeah, those are all the questions I have, and now I got to write a paper.
Right, thank you,
Yes.
and you're welcome as well.
Thank you so much. Have a great day. I appreciate you.
Yeah, you too. Appreciate.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.